Hey, welcome to Elemental D&D's new podcast, Reimagined. In this, we use a homebrew style of D&D in which instead of classes, people get elements. Speaking of classes, last episode, the characters got to go through their first day of school. Daffodil found out that they're a little too experienced for their tinkering class. Adder and Avery got to go through curses for the first time. It came a little easier for Avery, while Adder didn't experience that same ease. The group got tacos for lunch, and a series of bugs and insects were released into their room for the party to find that group of bugs killed when they got back into their room. Of course, Jeffrey had to have done it because there is nothing in that room that could possibly kill the insects otherwise. Now for this episode, let's see where it goes. Your classes are starting to get a little bit more regular. You're no longer being chaperoned to your classes. Because it doesn't take long to figure out how to get around in this school. You guys are just staying within the main building.
Oh, and I get to join Edwin for focus production.
Yeah.
That's fun.
But that is one of the differences of the day. As focus production starts going on, Edwin, you notice that Daffodil comes into the class with a little bit of a dying leaf that looks worse for wear, and is just very quickly taken and accepted and then framed up on the wall. And your guys' day is going pretty normal thus far.
Yeah. Edwin thinks to himself that you already skipped your first class yesterday, even though Ergo literally escorted us to our classes.
and Daffodil talked about vegan tinkering.
Well, Ed was in fantasy Twitter land. At the end of the day, as you guys are walking back to your dorms, Ergo meets up with you and is like, I will be right at your dorm with the GC group. So we'll be right back. I'll be right back.
Oh, farewell.
Adder's gonna lead over and be like, was anyone told what a GC group is supposed to be?
No, just upperclassmen.
As you guys are standing about, you start to hear walking back, and Ed, you can notice that as soon as Ergo gets back on the scene, that their tail is like moving a little bit sporadically behind them, and like you would know this, that while their face is not portraying this at all, Ed, you know that they're a little bit irritated right now. As you see coming onto the scene of just two people, a green furbolg who is looking around wildly as if this is the first time they've been in this hallway, yet they're an upperclassman, so there's no way it could be their first time in this hallway. And then you see a small figure behind them with a hood over them and like pitch black shadows around them. And as they get in closer, the figure, the green furbolg, holds out their hand to just your doorway and sits there for a moment. No. Hey. What?
That was me and Levi.
Yes.
No. Hi.
Yes. You want to meet Jeffrey?
Whoa. That's pretty cool. Is that your familiar?
Yeah.
I still remember my first year familiar. Don't you, M? And Green Cat looks, mysterious Green Furbolg looks over at the small figure who looks up, and it is a small mousefolk person, and he's just like shaking his head, this small mousefolk little dude. Oh no, Green Cat, just, no. Hey Jeffrey, I'm Green Cat.
Shake his hand now. Puts Jeffrey's paw in their hand.
They grab Jeffrey's little mole paw and shake it. Hi, I'm part of the... What? Hi?
We are still working with Jeffrey on his vocabulary. He is a bit limited at this moment, but he has only been in existence for one day, as it stands.
I feel that.
Do you? Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I beg your pardon. Where are my manners? My name is Rebecca Amy Madeline Madison. At your service.
So as you guys all go through introductions, they introduce themselves. The green furball is named Green
crazy.
Cat. And the small mousefolk person he's just named M, as far as you are aware. And very quick into the conversation as they're chatting with you, M just disappears. Just full on. You guys are chatting, M's like, oh, yeah, hello, how are you? Zoom, they're gone.
Oh,
No worries about it.
No, where did
They'll
they go?
be back.
Wait.
I have a
wait.
few worries about it.
I'm less worried and more curious. What happened?
Where?
Well, he's actually still right there. He just kind of disappears. His presence and stuff. He has a hard time. It's like apparently a really skilled shadow type
But
move
he can't control it.
that he has
That
no
sucks.
control. Yep. Yeah. It's really wild. He probably still thinks that we can hear him.
That's really awkward.
Can he?
But can he hear us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somewhat. It kind of like cuts off the old factory
The what?
system. I think that's what it
No.
called. Your ears.
Nope. Nuh-uh.
bone appetit.
If it's called the old factory, then shouldn't it be about your age?
Adder's gonna pause and be like, okay, M, if you can't hear, you disappeared, we'll let you know when you're back. That's all. Also, cool trick.
I need to get a piece of paper so I can describe what the olfactory system is.
Just let them do it. It's fine.
Okay.
Hey,
It's not worth
olfactory
it.
is
It's not
scent,
worth it.
right?
I like old factory
Yeah.
It
systems.
is.
Okay.
Well, I'm just here to help y'all out. I got my own little housey house, my own little dorm that's pretty cool. And if you all ever need some help making a project like for your finals and stuff, then you can come ask one of us and one of our group members to help make something. If we need something from you, we'll ask.
Is it just the
Um,
two of you?
No, the rest of the class, they're, from what I've heard, nervous to be around me ever since the summoning.
Yeah, that tracks. I've only been around you for a little bit, and like I can see why. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're neat, though.
I was a
Your
little
whole
bit
vibe is pretty
overpowering, you might say. When we decided to summon the creature together, I apparently summoned an old Ent spirit that had tails of a different sun.
Is it still here?
And, you know,
Honestly.
yeah, it's still here.
Where? I
That's
would
so cool.
really like to see it.
Can I see?
See, so if a tree is normal, then Jeffrey's.
But does
Yeah,
yours talk?
well, a lot of people got like dogs. Oh yeah, it doesn't stop talking.
Really, our
Jeffrey is
teacher said that was
perfectly talks
uncommon
to.
for them to talk.
Well, also,
Yeah,
I think it
well,
might just be because our teacher's bad.
Our
That's Edwin's.
Oh, Ada, what a
Edwin's
thing to say.
sibling.
yes.
It's not okay.
don't
Just because you're
think-
bad at something doesn't mean you can't improve. Come on.
Is Ergo also
I
like
wouldn't say
still
I'm
there?
actually bad at something, considering you actually succeeded in your goal now, didn't you? If
I mean,
anything, I'd say I'm doing quite well.
It's good to be confident.
I mean, yeah, I am pretty confident in it. I mean, I'm here for a reason. If you all ever hear a voice in your head in the middle of the night, that's the tree.
I'm sorry. Can you back up?
That explains so much.
Can you repeat that?
I can't.
You.
There's a tree that will speak to us in the middle of the night, and we should be prepared for that.
Is the just to clarify, this is a different tree than the thing that you summoned, or is it the same tree?
Yeah.
Now, Green
Oh,
Cat.
Cool.
Let me tell you something. I've already got
Yeah. Whoa, that's me,
already
yeah.
multiple sources of different ominous whispers in my room at night. In the 2 nights I've been here. I don't need a third.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff you don't need in life. I think it's pronounced three's a murder.
I don't think.
Hey, Green Cat. How many times have you heard that expression?
mostly on late night TV.
Cool. Well, great to meet you.
I'm very personally into chants
Yeah, I'll bet.
and
Do you know any
what's the other
do
course
you know any
Curses?
sea
called?
shanties?
Oh yeah, I know plenty of sea shanties.
Just inherently?
Well, yeah, you gotta have a way to communicate with people.
Of course, yeah. Of course. Stupid question.
Cat's first language is sea shanties.
Ash, you're gonna make me start sobbing in the middle of an episode.
If you ever need something made with fire, that's not me. But if you ever need something that's like, you know, goes woo 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 with like magic and stuff, that's me. That's which class I'm in.
I'll be sure to hit you up as soon as I need something of that nature.
Oh, whoa. Hey, Em. And Em is just like, yeah, so if those are each of the classmates, that is what each of them do, and so if you need any...
We tried telling you.
I get so focused on trying to just select the right words, and it has not helped when words are very crucial to get a point across the past 2 years. So,
You'll
well,
get there.
okay. If you need us, we're a couple hallways down. You'll know which room is ours.
Thanks.
Thank you, Em. Also, Green Cat, how are you with curses? Just curious. Just out of nowhere. Just for no reason whatsoever.
Those are ancient words I haven't heard in years.
How are you in curses?
Curses?
It's a class here. I'd assume you've heard it thrown around.
Well,
You've broken Leaf.
I have to say, if I had to rate my cursive experience, I'd say I cannot write. Have a good day, y'all.
Well, they were an interesting couple of folks.
So every few days, we will switch things up to have you actually work on your powers instead. But yes, I'm glad you got to meet your upperclassmen parallel. There's something.
Hey, what makes them parallel to us? What is...
It's just a title. They pick out another group, and that's just who you so happen to get matched
So
with.
the word parallel has no meaning?
You see, it was decided by a principal.
A principal, you say. Would you
Oh.
care to maybe elaborate on which principal made that decision?
About one hallway down with a
I
bucket
thought so. Okay.
and a mop. Although I will say this, your first big assignment that we'll be getting to eventually, I know you all are still new here, is actually still decided by Phil.
The janitor.
Phil is sort of an oracle of sorts. You're gonna be noticing some strange things as the term gets further on. You're gonna start having certain dreams.
It's normal.
No.
Sure.
Well, these ones aren't quite. And in these dreams, you're going to notice a particular item in them that, with that item, is going to be causing effects on the world. Something happened years ago that started changing up the landscape and started messing with things. And Phil often has a psychic ability to help tell where they are, what issues are happening, and is often the reason we can know about where to send students for finals that aren't too horrible, that won't get these students killed, hopefully, that is right for their skill level.
And he doesn't even have a room?
I think he does.
You think?
I don't think he's found it.
He told me he was homeless.
I think he has a dorm, but I don't think he knows where it is or isn't willing to go to it. I don't talk with Phil much because I don't particularly like Phil that much.
I mean,
Seems
he
like
seems
good enough guy.
he
was
seems
hanging with Lope, he
nice.
said.
I don't know about competent.
Lope is alright. But, let's just say when I've needed certain things to get done for the school, that, they haven't gotten done, so... not my first choice, but, I don't know how much better Fix is doing either.
They gave me a leaf.
Yes, well, I would, you know, this is speaking as an outsider, of course, but I would prefer to see the whole, you know, campaign run and done with a bit more information being circulated. I wasn't really
Yeah,
given any details on any of the
being dropped
candidates.
into an
It's-
election with no information on any of the candidates is a terrible idea.
I'm fine
I'm
with the
sh-
choice I
mean,
made.
You've made that clear, Adder. I mean, even if we make the
Well-
right choice in this election, it doesn't really feel like it was a good decision because we made it basically by random.
completely uninformed.
Where do I lodge a
But,
complaint
I
about this?
personally don't like it that much either.
Can I just go to the principal and
But,
say I don't like it? Do I have to submit a form?
You could do that.
Is there a board,
board.
perhaps? Investors?
If you want, you could fill out something and you could give it to me, and I could give it to Vix, or you
You
could
don't
give
have
it to
a
Vix
proper
yourself.
complaint filing system. Oh, jeez.
Like I said, the management isn't the best, but the school still runs exceptionally well and has wonderful classes, so that's, I guess, something. But I'm not here to complain about
could.
things. Have a great
Oh,
day, you all. It's
Yeah,
been a
well,
pleasure.
I did have one more
Yes.
query. Overthrowing the political system on our second day aside, this whole, the dreams that we can be looking forward to of various dangerous or powerful items, who exactly is responsible for placing these dreams into our heads, and, are they privy to witnessing anything that happens to be already going on at the time of the insertion?
The what?
As far as
Miss
I'm
Rebecca
aware,
Amy Madeline Madison.
I have some questions, thank you very much.
they live through the same dream that you do on that night, Phil does, and then Phil knows who it is, but I don't think Phil actually sees any of your dreams regularly or anything like that. And I don't even know if Phil's really the one. I don't know. He might be a catalyst for it, I'm not sure. But
How very
I don't know.
mysterious.
He's part of the school that needs to stay at the school for some reason, and I'm not sure.
Well, I don't.
Yes, I see.
I would prefer not to have my mind peeked into, but I suppose if it's necessary.
He doesn't see anything that is from your own.
Okay, that makes it a little bit better.
Still like weird brain probing
It would
magic.
be really terrible if someone was able to look into my worst nightmares, because that would be a bit of a breach of privacy.
Why? What are your worst nightmares? Like forgetting how to read? Showing up to school with no
I don't
pants?
want to talk maybe if I don't want to talk about it with the principal, I don't really feel comfortable talking about it with the people who I live with.
Becca visibly shuddered at both of Adder's guesses, like direct.
Oh, Becca, I love you.
Not that she's ever worn pants to school, but you know the idea of it.
The idea of wearing pants in the first place is
Horrible.
Yeah.
disgusting. You couldn't catch me in that shit.
Awful. Horrifying.
God.
Now you guys have more so like finished your third day. And as that's coming to a close, you guys go to bed for the night. Avery,
jeez.
roll me a perception check.
16.
Avery, are you on the top or the bottom bunk? Because I know you and Ed are sharing a bunk.
I mean, Avery would have chosen the bottom bunk preferably, but they're comfortable with either, so it would depend on Edwin, honestly.
Edwin would not say he wants the top, but you could tell.
Okay,
he
Edwin can
does.
have the top bunk.
So you remember like a couple days back, it's been a tiny bit now, that there was like a particular doll that you kind of held up
Oh,
at
God.
Jeffrey, perhaps, maybe. Yeah, you wake up in the middle of the night and you're kind of like hugging it, like you're holding it between your arms and turned over. And as you like wake up, you're like, oh, it's kind of dark. Oh, I can't see what's in my arms. You make some light. I don't know how. What do you
Probably
use
a
for a
little,
light
like,
source?
You know those little like pocket lights that you attach to books? It's one of those.
Nerd.
You do that as you flash and see a porcelain face that you could have sworn is looking right at you, that you're snuggled right up
Avery
with.
takes a second, processes this. There's like a little loading screen going on in their head. And then after about maybe 3 or 4 seconds of just staring at it, they scream. And they throw it as hard as they can across the room.
So you all wake up to screaming in your dorm as you hear against your wall, boom!
It's a porcelain doll and it doesn't shatter. Oh my god.
Oh, I'm sure the face would shatter at least.
Dope. Edwin, dear, what's wrong?
No, it doesn't seem to shatter.
Oh, it doesn't break? How lovely.
Yeah. It seems to have not hit the face first.
That's normal.
Seems to have landed on its feet against the wall, some might say, and slid down.
Oh my goodness.
Doll haunted!
Edwin, are you alright?
The doll's haunted! I did not go to sleep with that thing in my arms.
What are you
I did
talking
not
about?
take that thing from out from under your bed. It appeared in my bed. You have to believe me, please.
Maybe Jeffrey just dragged it across the
Maybe
floor.
Priscilla was just lonely.
Jeffrey, were you playing with Miss Daffodil's dolls?
It was not Jeffrey.
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey does come out from underneath Avery's
I
bed.
swear.
A very sleepy looking Becca with like her hair's in curlers and has like a little bonnet over it. She's got like a full like nightgown and like a little like, you know, thing over it and stuff, like a little sleeping gown. She's like going over to like pick up the doll and like investigate it.
Becca, I'm telling you, it wasn't Jeffrey.
Priscilla,
It
okay?
wasn't me. I swear.
Alright, dear, alright, I believe you. We'll get to the bottom of this.
I don't. There's
Miss Daffodil, you do make these dolls very sturdy. She seems
uh-huh,
undamaged.
almost supernaturally unsturdy, one might say.
That's great. Look, I'm a quality toysmith.
So quality that your toys might crawl into my bed?
Look, okay, I've never had that happen before. Like, okay, so sometimes I'd wake up and there'd be one in my bed. I thought like my dad put it there to like,
Oh
you know,
dear.
you tuck your kid in, you put a doll with them. Some
Well,
little
like
stuff.
Daffodil said, maybe it was just lonely.
I feel like Becca is like already holding the doll when like Daffodil says this, so her expression just sort of goes sort of flat, and she's just like, she'd been kind of like absently stroking the hair out of the doll's face, but now she's just looking at it like sort of sternly. Like she's already holding it, so she's not gonna just drop it, you know, but she's just giving him the look like, you're haunted, aren't you?
Those dolls.
Why is the first thing we go to that the doll moved by itself, and not that somebody else put the doll in your bed, and then you grabbed it out of instinct?
No one here would do that. Adder, did you do that?
Oh, what? Did I touch any of these monster
Daffodil,
dolls? No.
did you do that? Becca?
No, why would I put my dolls with somebody else?
Oh no, it certainly was not me.
Edwin.
Edwin grumbles a little bit. He's like trying to like go back to sleep through this, you know. But he's like, I didn't touch
Okay.
the dolls.
One more
but-
question. I kneeled down. Jeffrey, did you put this doll in my bed? I think that's a no. No, it's a no.
Is that a yes? Jeffrey, blink
Let's make this
once
easier on
for yes,
everyone.
twice for
Jeffrey
no.
Waldrop, stamp your left gross little goblin hand twice.
It's a
if you
mole
put this
hand!
doll into Avery's bed.
Don't be mean.
Yeah, no, you can't talk about him
It's
that
not
way.
gross.
Don't be
Those
understanding
mole
him.
hands were modeled after someone I care a lot about.
Oh.
You're gonna give him a complex.
Okay, let's try again. Compliment sandwich. Jeffrey Waldrop, your fur is luxurious. Your hands look like tiny little nightmares, and I need you to tap them if you've been moving these dolls around. And also compliment. Your wings are nice.
Good job.
That was much better.
I
Adam.
did it. I did it.
Everyone stops to watch Jeffrey.
Well, now, I think perhaps if no one's going to come forward, and at this juncture, we will not be cross if you do, I think that we can rule out a practical joke.
What if it was that creepy green cat fellow?
How would they get in without any of us noticing?
I don't know. That person. I don't know. I think they were kind of
I
neat.
thought they were
personally.
strange,
I
but
think.
They're neat, but like, they feel a little bit otherworldly.
That's a weird assumption to go to.
They're very eccentric for certain, but they seem quite helpful.
I don't know.
You know what's fucking otherworldly? Your dolls.
Weird vibes.
Well, now let's not point accusations.
They're normal. I made them myself.
I think
They're
that's the
normal.
problem.
They're perfectly lovely dolls. It is possible that they are so lovely and lifelike that perhaps they have absorbed or gained or some lifelike qualities of their own.
That's.
Now this is not necessarily a bad thing. It's simply
I'll say it, it's a
mystery.
bad
No
thing.
one's making
That would
any
be wonderful.
accusations. I beg your pardon. What was
Look,
that?
I'm sure if they are.
It is a bad thing. I'll say it. I will not be silenced.
Why? I'm sure if they are a little bit alive, they're not gonna hurt you. They're just dolls. Like, what are they gonna do? Look at their they don't have claws. They don't have teeth. They've got little porcelain hands. Are you scared of a little tiny
I
porcelain
believe
doll?
that those tiny porcelain hands could wield a knife if they wanted to.
And also, let's
They
not
can't even
forget,
bend.
tiny porcelain hands or not, they still pose a choking hazard to a variety of individuals who can't unhinge their jaws.
Yes, well,
They're
Jeffrey's
not that
safe
big.
then.
You'd have to unhinge your jaw just to get them down your throat.
Guess Jeffrey is safe then.
Well, now we are. We are stationed at a university that specializes in such unusual occurrences and elemental powers, and forthwith, I suppose we could go ask a high authority in the morning. Maybe get some of these dolls looked at.
I would love to do that. Because if I wake up again with one of these in my arms, I'm going to lose it.
Oh, don't worry, it won't be one.
Adder!
Maybe Priscilla just liked you because you held her earlier.
That I'm going back to bed now.
Well, I think that just means that you need to hold a bit more of your dolls, Daffodil. They seem touch-starved. Help them out.
Oh, they're getting jealous.
Oh no. Oh no.
Daffodil will set several on her bed, including Priscilla. Don't worry, everyone else. It'll be your turn soon. To the other dolls.
God! Jesus Christ! This is like a fucking nightmare. This is like the line
I
of
love
just getting
this.
jealous is like the nightmare before something horrible hits.
I don't know what you're
Daffodil
talking
can
about.
bullshit
It's
us, Kalia, but you can't.
I love this. I love this.
Edwin will pipe up a little bit before everyone goes to sleep. You know, you can't rule out there is a precedent. I think Daffodil's dad did it.
Dad?
Ugh.
Here?
Oh, it's like a sort of like
Make a perception
protective.
check.
Check, what do you mean?
Make a dad check.
Is that a skill? Do I have proficiency? Actually, I don't think I do have
Check.
proficiency in dads.
Unnatural
Oh.
20.
There's definitely something small crawling around underneath your bed.
I'm gonna lean down and see what
Dad?
it is.
Oh, no. It just must have been like a mouse dragging one of your dolls underneath there.
It's a big mouse.
Yeah. You saw your mouse, you saw like some movement down there and stuff. Oh, it was just a couple dolls.
Just a couple dolls. Nothing to worry about.
It's been a month since we got here. Adder must have had to source some new mice since then. Where does he get them?
It hasn't been a month. It's been 3. We are on the night of day 3.
Okay,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah. And then we're gonna
eventually
skip
you're
to
gonna
a
need
month.
to source new mice.
Well, okay. Yeah, Adder's gonna. Well, unless Adder can properly like convince them to get more meat things in the cafeteria, he's probably gonna have to like source something. But alternatively to that, before we like,
You can't.
I didn't
just
know if
get
you were
meat.
immediately gonna do like a time skip, but Ergo did give Adder that potion to try and figure out within a week, so he is going to. Yeah, like over the last couple days or moving forward, try and like do the fucking like elimination tests, right? Like try it on a bug,
Yeah.
see if the bug explodes. Try it on a rat, see if the rat explodes. Like leave it out in the sun, see if it like smokes or dries up or anything. Shit like that.
Okay. So,
It grows 4 heads and spider legs.
Oh man, I wouldn't do that if I were you.
roll me an
Kalia.
investigation check.
Why?
Kalia, your dolls are my favorite and I love them. Adder doesn't, but I as Roland do.
I think it certainly makes the dorm life interesting. Avery was mostly neutral on to the dolls until now.
Okay, hold on. Investigation.
Before the
I'm
dolls were
distracted
just taking
by
up too
meaning
much
about
space.
fucking-
Now,
16.
You put it out, you wait to see if it burns when it catches sunlight. It doesn't. You put it on a dead mouse, like you said earlier. Nothing seems to happen. You put it on a grasshopper. A few moments go by, the grasshopper hops and doesn't seem to come down.
Oh no. Oh.
I think I know what kind of
no.
potion it is.
Okay. Adder's not going to drink it, but he's gonna turn to Avery and be like, Avery, can I get your help with something?
Yeah? What is it?
You did really good in the curse class with stopping people from jumping. I wanna see something real quick.
Okay.
So Adder is going to just, jump a little bit, and then have I want to basically do the elimination test for this, right? So Adder's going to jump, see if Avery can stop him from being able to jump, and then he's going to jump some more to make sure he can, and then just dab a tiny bit of the potion on himself. And I really don't want to have him slam into the fucking ceiling is the problem. If this is what it is. And he's like, he's gonna be like, okay, if I go higher than 6 feet in the air, curse me. Or remove my ability to jump, okay?
I'll do my best.
Otherwise, I'm gonna have them charge you for this roof. And then Adder's gonna rub the potion on himself, a little bit of it, and jump and see if it does anything.
Okay. You jump and you keep going up. But it's a little bit controlled. It's a potion of flying.
Yay! Oh, that poor grasshopper!
Do I curse you yet?
Wait, hold on. And Adder's gonna see if he can just it's I know it's a potion of flying. Adder's gonna move around a little bit and see if he can, he can figure out that it's a potion of flying. He'll do a little swoop.
Yeah, it's
He'll dive bomb that grasshopper, see if he can find it and just eat it out of the sky, because he's rude.
make a survival check.
The hunt begins.
Well, my background says I can find food. That's a 24.
Nat 20, baby.
Oh yeah, you find that immediately. You go back to Ergo.
Yeah, I was just gonna say for a split second, Adder just flies up a little bit and just suns himself in the sky because just it seems nice, and then just comes down.
So no cursing?
I'm good.
Cool.
I'm good. No cursing. Got a potion.
Yeah, that's a pretty valuable potion.
Potion.
You just got that for free?
Well, it was supposed to, be a thing of if I figured it out what it was, I could get it for free. I just wasn't allowed to drink it.
Well, now you've got it.
So, cause my first thing is if I don't know what a thing is, I'm just gonna eat it. And he sort of just trails off.
Gets the potion, haha, but don't eat it. Goes to lunch.
Now,
If you don't know what it is, fucking eat
I'm
it.
not one to criticize one's natural instincts. It's an important part of my people's culture. But when it comes to random potions,
Okay, so in explanation, right? Do you know anything about Medusa, Madar, and Medfolk in general?
No, we didn't. I never have met one before you.
Cool. So, there's this fun little internet forum called Cliff's Notes. Cliff's Notes version is, at least in my area, the bulk of us are immune to a lot of poisons. So the immediate response to just like eat something is kind of baked in because we know it's not gonna fuck with us the same way it would, mess
Are
with
you immune to acid, though? Because some potions might be acidic.
I don't know, haven't tried yet. Anybody got an acid do you think we could
I
find
don't
an
think you
acid
should test it
potion?
on yourself.
Avery,
I
an
think
acid
it'd be
potion,
really
Avery.
easy to find, Adder, but I don't think it's safe to just pour acid potion on yourself.
Okay, I hear you.
Are you?
Part of my skin is stone, Avery.
Well, now that you mention that. For science...
For science!
We might have to have a chat with your potions teacher.
Yeah, so Adder, sorry, Ash, you started narrating that I go to Ergo, but this is the point where Adder, like, drops down, and he's not even gonna drop down. He's gonna fly for as long as this thing lasts. He's gonna, like, hover to Ergo.
It lasts like 20 seconds
just like-
because
just
you
a
didn't
drop.
Fair.
you didn't use the potion, you know. As you go to meet up in the potions class, you go in and you see that Ergo seems to be over crushing down some purple scale-ish thing and then like sweeping it up and then pouring it into a small glass and seems to be just arranging something.
Yeah, so Adder's gonna clomp his way in because rowdy teens. He's like, figured it out. I did. It's a flight potion.
Very good. I just wonder. Oh, okay. Good work. I'm glad. Appears
What
you
are
didn't
you doing?
drink it to find out. Well, I'm just making a potion. Just working on something. Okay, so now you see over here, these are purple scales. They more so are from shadow dragons, which are interesting because they are not natural to this realm. And so being able to find a couple of these is very interesting to me. I'm not sure where they got it, but I will find that out later. For now, it's time to use them. Because they kind of go against plant life a little bit, I'm trying to see if I can make a potion that would kind of reverse plant magic in a little bit based off of it without necessarily doing damage.
For the first time since he like came here, Adder is actively like invested in Ergo. He's like, wait, you can do that? How do I help? How?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Potion making, a lot of it is, in a sense, like multiplying negatives. You get two things that are against something, and then you get a positive from it. Well, at least when you're doing more so combative things. Things like that flying potion are more so you want similarities. There's so much to it, and that's why I'm stuck here trying to figure this out. But I'm trying to... I think this is going to be a 3-part potion. But it might not even work. It might even just wind up being a damaging thing that just might hurt someone, so... That's why I'm here to find out.
Yeah, so Adder just like... Since this was within the first week we established before we do our big time skip, I think this was the point where...
Yeah.
Like, Adder actually starts to give a shit and pay attention to class. Not necessarily, like, vibe with Ergo, but, like, understand that they do have information available to them. It's just a matter of, like, paying attention. And he doesn't necessarily like that part, but he's just like, I'm learning. They know things. They're not, People have nuance. Blah. Teens don't like to learn that. And so he's just like grumpy.
Actually, no, roll me an insight check.
19.
Ergo seems to be showing you a bit more tricks than the rest of the class. Whether it just be before class you enter in and Ergo's just like, oh, by the way, did you know that if you get a seed of a plant that you can actually make a growth potion? And just like little bits of tidbits that are just like tiny bits of information that like you're slowly starting to notice that like even just these tiny bits of tidbits that you're like, huh, that was a kind of a weird sentence to say. And then like a little bit later, you're like looking at a test and you're like, wait, this is making sense. A lot of this is going to be out of, or like a lot of what we're going to be doing before our first mission is going to be probably cut out to just like the, when we're actually getting to what we're saying for it. But before our first big mission, you guys are each going to be able to, instead of using something like currency, like money, because I don't really want money to be the biggest, like, we need money for this, because it wouldn't really make sense for some of you to be like, wow, I cannot find $50 to go buy this thing. Especially as some of you are like, have had jobs or are just rich, like, so instead, we're going to be using, in order to say this is how much you can get of something, we're going to be using free time. So I'm going to say you guys have had 10 hours of free time this term, and you can spend that how you want. And I will put things down in like a little docket of like really simple things that you've learned from your classes that you can be like, I'm going to use this, or I'm going to have this effect on this. Or you guys can come up to me with something completely original and be like, how much free time would this take? And I'll tell you how much. So that will be the economy of in-between missions.
Sick.
Saturday, whatever the hell equivalent of a Saturday, afternoon, you guys hear a little bit of yelling outside your room. Do you guys want to check it out?
Sure.
Yeah.
As you go outside of your room, there is a goblinoid figure that seems a little bit familiar from orientation, who is curled up in a ball and slamming their fist into the ground, and you're watching as shadows are coming off of them and flying in every direction. And I would like you all to roll initiative, as there is a crow, a giant frog, and a lizard that come out of them and start charging after you three. Or is everyone out?
When I said fight, I didn't mean me.
I guess I'm out.
Edwin would have been like watching from the doorway.
Okay. I would like you all to roll
Definitely
initiative
in the
then.
back, but how far away are we from the nearest authority figure's office?
Probably a little bit of ways, because this is like a dorm area. There might be someone in one of the hallways. So with that, you all have cantrips. By the way, because this is a school for out-of-control magic, we're doing wild magic, a little bit extreme, especially for the start of this campaign. There's a rule with wild magic. We're probably not going to do it for cantrips after our first mission, but for the first mission, cantrips are going to count on this because fun. Wild magic for this, though, every time you don't activate wild magic, your thing goes up by 1. So if you cast a spell, then I'm going to be like, okay, roll a d20. And if you don't roll a 1, then instead it's a 2 now. So if you roll below a 2 on your next time, you'd roll for wild magic.
Well, I rolled a 6.
Goodie.
Okay, so with that, as you guys are all coming out of your dorm to look over this figure and kind of like, oh no, are they okay? A crow flies directly at you, Daffodil.
Ooh.
Misses you, completely veers off and flies into the ceiling for a second.
Oh.
Edwin, a giant frog runs up to you and sticks its tongue straight at you. I would say that people don't have armor on right now, as you guys are casually doing school. That's still a 9.
So AC's what, 10?
10 plus dex.
10 plus
Okay.
dex.
It's not regular gonna be. Okay, Lizard is gonna go up and take a strike at her. Just one little claw mangy. Rise up. Yeah, swing down. That is a 19.
Hits.
4 points of damage.
Spicy.
4 points of piercing damage as its claws rake into the lower half of your like knee leg area, calf. Yeah. And with that, Avery, it is your turn.
Okay. So can I get out of this area without provoking attacks of opportunity?
I'd say no. The frog would get an attack of opportunity.
Not
Frogged on.
great. Okay. In that case, I will take the disengage action so that doesn't happen. And then I will yell, I'm gonna go to find someone, keep them busy, and Avery's gonna immediately run away.
Avery runs out. Daffodil.
Okay, first she's gonna shout, "Hey, are you okay?" See if there's any response from the figure.
Help! Help!
Help! How can I help?
I don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna deal with the crow on her then, I guess.
All right.
Not know how to use your magic in combat, most likely, so she's going to, bring her little bit long tails forward into either of her hands, paws, hands, and from each of them with a what's the noise? Like a shick, extends a massive barb. Well, not massive. I think about 6-7 inches long. Sickle-like barbs.
Pretty massive.
And she's going to swing at the bird on her. +4 for the first swing. 15.
That hits.
Sweet. Roll. Oops, I just almost rolled a d20 for damage. Ooh, max damage for 6.
All right. So as you pull out this barbed tail and you slash it down, you watch as the crow disappears. You cut straight through it, and shadows just evaporate in the air and sink to the ground and start going back to the figure.
Okay. Is there another one close to me?
Yeah, the frog and the lizard are close by.
Any of them within attacking range if I
Yeah.
were to move past them towards the figure on the floor?
Yeah, I have like the frog is like in the center, so like yeah, the frog.
Okay, then I'll use my bonus action to use my other thing, because 2-weapon fighting. They're both light weapons. To swing at the next one, the frog. 21.
That hits.
Wow, good rolls. I only have I only rolled with a +2, but I only have +4 to hit. And this one doesn't get my bonus for damage. That's 2 damage.
Frog's looking a little hurt. A little bit of it dissipated slightly, but it's mostly good. Ed, what would you like to do?
Edwin will. The frog is the one that swiped at him, so he's gonna use his claws and just make a melee, an unarmed strike. That's an 11 to hit.
That hits.
Hey, let's go. And yeah, he'll just swipe at it with his claws for 3 damage.
The frog's looking a little bit weak. You hear the goblin off in the distance. I miss my mom. I miss my mom. And mom. Mom.
How many moms
As
does
many
he
as he
have?
needs.
3, and they're a lizard and a frog and a crow.
There's a fourth one that he doesn't miss.
Well, I think I'll just try to swipe that off with her purse. Just hit at it with her bag.
Okay.
You're also proficient if we're still using the same things from the last
Oh,
campaign.
and it'd be a 12 then if I'm proficient in purses. Which, I mean, she would be.
10 will be enough,
Cool,
so.
cool. Give it a very solid whack.
Sorry, was this on the frog?
Yes.
The frog was at 1 HP, so you bring your purse down, you smack it into the ground, and it just dissipates. completely just leaving a very large lizard that is trying to take bites at Adar. Adar, what would you like to do?
So, Adder's not gonna use any spells. He's just gonna run up and claw at this lizard thing. It's a 13 to hit.
That's a hit.
Sick. I think that's only a D4 for unarmed attacks, right?
If you have a feature for it, then it is. Otherwise, it's just 1 plus strength.
My feature's coming up. It's not so yeah, I'm gonna roll 1d4, see what I get. That's a 3, and then bonus.
Is it your feature?
Yeah.
Because if it's not your
bonus,
okay.
It's a racial feature. So bonus action
Okay,
is, you see one of Adder's hair snakes just latch forward and jab the thing for 1 damage. 1 poison damage.
As you come forward and you claw into this and your snake comes out and bites into it, you watch as this lizard starts to dissipate. And then you guys start to see all the shadows start standing over the goblin into a huge form of like a horse. Into a relatively, not large for a horse, kind of actually a little bit small for a horse, but just this shadow figure standing over the crying goblin.
Does it look like threatening or like
It's
it's
the horse
protecting it?
threatening.
The horse is a little bit threatening. The horse is gonna go over and gonna try and kick Ed.
Okay. Well,
Ouch. I think Ed
That's
thinks
a-
it's threatening.
That's a 19.
Ooh, yeah. That'll hit just a little.
You take 4 points of damage as these 2 shadowy hooves just go straight up and shove straight into your gut and push you back. Avery, make me a
Okey-dokey.
perception check.
16.
Okay. Yeah, you can see Phil.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Phil helped
Hey,
last
you voted
time.
for him.
Okay, listen. Phil has to
True.
be at least somewhat okay at magic to have been the principal. Surely, please. So,
I
don't say anything.
have
Um,
little faith in that.
Avery will run up to Phil and be like, Phil, there's a goblin, shadow monsters. I need
Please, just call me
ex-principal Phil. There's a goblin, shadow monster. Need your help. Please come.
All right. I'll get back to you, Floor.
Fast,
Not
please.
done with you yet.
The monsters are beating up my roommates.
As Phil is jogging with you, Phil's just like looking backwards slightly. You ever feel like you're just so close to something?
I feel like I might be close to my roommates dying and far from saving them.
With that, as you and Phil are rounding the corner, Daffodil, it's your turn.
Daffodil, there's a horse in front of me, right?
Yeah.
Daffodil is going to use some magic.
Oh.
Given that cantrips are available to us now, woo woo, and is going to kind of hold her paws forward for a second, and going to shoot a shadow ball at the horse creature.
Okay.
Spell attack. I'm better at these.
A spatank, if you will.
15.
Okay, that hits.
6 points of damage.
All right. You all watch. Roll me another d20.
Okay.
As Daffodil swinging over with these tail weapons hits a couple times
6.
and takes out these creatures, but as this horse forms, she holds out her paws and just a ball of shadow forms in them and launches out. And I'm guessing you look even a little bit surprised because like you've been working with like the coaches and stuff lately.
Yeah, not combat.
And so like this is a bit of an anomaly for you as this plants into the horse. How much damage was that?
6.
And like the horse's muzzle is just deformed after that.
And the d20 I rolled was also 6.
All right, wonderful. Ed, it is your turn.
Well done, Miss Daffodil.
as Edwin's recoiling from getting, kicked in the gut, he'll sort of like fall back a little bit, as he gets kicked, and as he does that, I think he's also gonna try a cantrip, and that's an 11.
Got
Okay,
him.
that's a 9.
Okay. Go ahead and roll damage.
That's a 3. Edwin's hands, you see sort of like a flash that like sort of zips to the horse, right? And it almost like looks like a bolt, but you can tell that it's not lightning.
You see this flash come out, and Becca, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Oh, well, the horse is pretty big, and she just has a bag. So maybe instead of trying to tackle that, she'll try to help out the goblin. What does he look like? What's going on?
You can't really see
They've
any
been
defining
stomped into the
features of the
ground.
goblin, besides the fact that the goblin is like laying on the ground in like a huge hooded cloak that is just pushing out so many shadows, and you just hear like crying and sniveling underneath said cloak.
Oh. Dude, Sugar, it's gonna be all right. We're getting it all sorted out. Do please try to calm down if you can. All right? Maybe if you can just take some deep breaths, maybe we can get this under control together. All right? Do you have your talisman on you?
Yeah. Make a persuasion check.
14.
As you're saying this, as you are soothing this goblin, you start to notice that the shadows start to recede a little bit.
Oh, well done, sweetheart. That's a trick. Yeah, just easy breaths now. It's all gonna be all right. You're doing just fine.
And Adar, it is your turn.
I want to try and claw this pony. And Adder will bodily attempt to like get in the way of Becca if she's being stupid and all up in the mix in front of this pony. He's trying to like draw attention to himself as best he can. Ooh, 6.
So you're more preoccupied with like sort of getting in the way of Becca, and you take a swing at this pony, and Becca, you kind of get pushed slightly to the side as like you're watching the shadows like recede, and then this claw comes down at this pony, and the shadows go out as the pony ducks under it and is going to make a swipe at Adar.
Yeah.
That's a 21.
Uh-oh.
Wow, it hits.
And you take 4 points of damage.
Spicy.
That's also a
Are
pretty
you
big
still
number
up?
for this, really.
Yep.
Pog, nice Adder.
All right, wonderful. With that, Avery, you are running in with Phil. Oh, I totally see what happened here.
It's the weirdest way to say that.
Can you make it stop? You're powerful, right?
Yeah.
Only if you vote for me.
All right.
Did
let's
vote for him.
Stop this, though. You watch as he walks forward to the crowd of people, and he snaps his fingers, and the shadows dissipate.
A crowd of people, like our group.
Yeah, your group.
Okay, I was gonna say.
I found Phil, guys. Don't worry.
You know. Little
Thank you,
goblin.
Phil.
Sometimes you shouldn't take speeches so to heart. Sometimes they're a little bit metaphorical. This is my parent.
Is he okay?
You just got a little carried away, that's all. It's all right, Sugar. It happens.
And as Becca comes forward to more so like ease the goblin, you watch as pulling down the hood, you see on the back of the hoodie there is a pitch black heart that seems to have cracks through it as like this paint has like dried over ages and has started to crack. And it's on this dark green cloak pulled over. You start to see even darker green freckles along this goblin's face
Okay.
as she's looking up and crying at you, Becca. And like slowly this goblin just like starts going over and hugging Becca and crying into her.
She's just got her arms around her and just soothing her like like with a child or something. There, it's all right. It's all over. No one was hurt.
Are you guys?
I think we need to get you all into some combat classes. Also, is everybody okay? Oh, you guys are a little bit.
Are you guys okay?
I'm gonna go get
You look
Vicks.
a little,
Well, I was doing great until the horse kicked me in the
You
gut.
got kicked by a horse?
I did too. It was great.
I would not say it was great.
Can I like try to do some first aid on Edwin?
Yeah, go ahead and make a medicine check.
Right?
Yeah, you can use
because-
intelligence.
Oh, 24. Natural 20, baby.
Yeah, you are very quickly taking over and like patching up people. You like run into your room, you go and get like a first aid kit, and you're like patching them up and looking a lot better. Soon enough, you don't see Vix returning with Phil, ex-principal Phil. You see Green Cat.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Powerful heals.
I heard you all required
My
some
friends got
help.
kicked by a horse.
Yeah.
Edwin, you hear Edwin mumble, Avery, your hands are like natural ice packs.
Thanks, I guess.
As you get this close, as you are touching over Ed, you do notice one thing in particular. Ed is so hot to the touch. And with this, you guys are getting patched up, and Phil starts talking about how he wants to start getting you guys into an actual combat course, into something to actually help with the more combative side of your powers soon. As you guys have been here for a month, and you guys have been training, but it's been, dealing with just the start of your powers, just even like seeing them for some of you. And for others, a little bit different. And with that, that will be the end of our session today.
That was a
Yeah.
good time.
That was fun.
Something, get ready to walk into the portal.
Dear Dad, school has really been something so far. I tried out that tinkering class. It was way too easy. They really had me taking apart a clock. A clock? I think I did that when I was like 3. Anyway, I got into a different class now that I'm going to use to like enchant our toys. It's really going to take the shop to the next level. Look, I know I've said that a lot, but I think that this is the time, this is the thing. My roommates are a little weird. Got like a snake boy, some like school teacher girl. She had like a weird moment where she couldn't count. I think it was the heat stroke. She's wearing so many dresses. We got a cat, a real tabaxi. Do you think it would be weird to ask if he knows my mom? That'd probably be weird, right? Yeah, that'd be weird. Who else do we have? Oh, right, we've got the kind of quiet one with the deer horns. Real cutie, though. We made a creature. His name is Jeffrey Waldrop. They let me give him my last name. Nobody else wanted it. It was weird. He talks a little. I don't think he's supposed to talk, but we're gonna be teaching him more words and stuff. Real good shit. Anyway, just send me a letter. Let me know if the shop is doing all right without me. I can try sending back some of the prototypes, but some of the roommates are a little creeped out by the dolls and stuff. I'm not like haunted, am I? Am I haunted? Is there a secret ghost in my life? What if it's my dad? Anyway, just let me know how the shop is going.
We're just starting this show, so if you enjoyed, please leave a thumbs up and a comment. It really helps us out. We have the links to all of our other stuff, whether it be Tumblr, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Discord, below, so feel free to join. Like in our Discord, we have how to play Elemental D&D and all the help, and I'm there to help anyone else as well. We really hope you enjoyed. Thank you for stopping by. Have a great day.